Hello everyone, I welcome you in this session of human anatomy and physiology. In today's discussion, we will discuss about the pancreas. Pancreas is one of the vital element which comes in the category of accessory organs. In this pancreas, it is the organ which is having the capability of exocrine as well as endocrine gland. So this pancreas containing the glandular epithelial cells. It is elongated in shape. This pancreas is having the retroperitoneal gland. So its size is about 12 to 15 centimeter, and its width or its thickness is about 2.5 centimeter. If you will see this pancreas, it is just at the posterior side of this stomach, and it is also at the inferior part of the fundus body part of the stomach. This pancreas is having the pH from 7.1 to 8.2. So pancreas is having three parts: head, body and tail. In figure also you can see here it is having three parts: head, body and tail. Now if you will see these parts, where they locates and how they has been entered. So this head part, this is the head part which is attached to the curvature of this duodenum. So this head has been extended and it has been attached into this curve of this duodenum, whereas the next part is body, which is the middle part of your pancreas, and the last tempering part is nothing but the tail. This pancreas is having various pancreatic juice. It contains endocrine as well as exocrine secretions. This pancreas is having normally basic secretions. It is alkaline. It is having alkaline pH. Now here the ducts of pancreas, the pancreatic ducts and accessory ducts. This pancreas is having two types of ducts. So this is the pancreatic duct and another is the accessory ducts. The pancreatic duct secretes almost 70% of the secretion. It is the major duct of pancreas as compared with the accessory ducts. This accessory ducts is also called as duct of Santorini, whereas this pancreatic duct is called as duct of Wirsung. It is called as duct of Wirsung. So as you can see, this pancreatic duct is joined by the common bile duct, which is coming from the liver as well as gallbladder. Now hepatopancreatic ampulla. So whatever the common bile duct and this pancreatic duct, they are come together and they are forming hepatopancreatic ampulla. It is the ampulla which the combinedly called as pancreatic ampulla, and this ampulla is responsible for combinedly secrete both the secretions from the gallbladder and liver, and also secretions from the pancreas. So they are releasing their secretions. As we have already discussed, from the duodenum the digestion will increase its speed. So because in the duodenum lots of secretion has been added, some secretion has been occurred in stomach, but in here in duodenum means in intestine also the secretion has been started, and this pancreas and liver is having great role in the digestion of the food. So whatever the secretions will be secreted into the duodenum, where in this lumen it will digest more and more food. And this ampulla is also called as ampulla of Vater. Now the major duodenal papilla, what is that? Now here, where this hepatopancreatic ampulla opens into the duodenum. So this mucosa, at this mucosa of this duodenum, the presence of muscle, voluntary muscle is there. That voluntary muscle produces the sphincter. It is nothing but the sphincter, and it is nothing but the gateway of this ampulla. So which allows the secretion of this ampulla into the duodenum. So it is nothing but the major duodenal papilla. Now the sphincter of hepatopancreatic ampulla. So whatever the sphincter is there, so it is called as sphincter of hepatopancreatic ampulla. It is also called as sphincter of Oddi. So it is having both the names, sphincter, hepatopancreatic sphincter or sphincter of Oddi. And this ampulla is called as hepatopancreatic ampulla or ampulla of Vater, V-A-T-E-R. These words are difficult to recall, but you should able to recall all these words. Now, whereas the pH is concerned, it is basic in nature, because whatever the pH is there which is coming from the stomach, it is acidic in nature. Now we will discuss regarding the histology of pancreas, anatomy of pancreas. So in that histology of pancreas, as we already know, this pancreas is the organ which contains endocrine as well as exocrine glands. So in case of endocrine, which is having, they are called as islet cells, whereas for exocrine, which is our point of interest of today's lecture, it is called acinar cells. So there are 99% cells are called as acinar cells. So these acinar cells constitutes whole exocrine glands, whole exocrine secretions. Now these exocrine cells are responsible for preparation of various types of pancreatic juice which secretes into the duodenum. Now, whereas only 1% of cell in our pancreas are called as islet cells. They are called as islets of Langerhans, and only that 1% is responsible for endocrine function. What is the endocrine function? They are having various types of cells. These islet cells are having 4 types. One is alpha cell or A cell. It secretes glucagon. That glucagon is responsible for to control the secretion of glucose. It increases the secretion of glucose. It increases the blood sugar level. Whereas the beta cell or B cell secrete the insulin, and which decreases the secretion of glucose. It controls the secretion of glucose, and due to which whatever the food intake which contains glucose or carbohydrate, after the meal it will start to raise. At that time there is secretion of insulin into our glands, and it will try to control our blood glucose level. After that, next C cell is able to secrete somatostatin. And what is somatostatin? It is inhibitory hormone. It controls the secretion of glucagon as well as it controls the secretion of insulin. And the F cell, last cell, it secretes the pancreatic polypeptide. That pancreatic polypeptide is responsible for secretion of several enzymes into the pancreas. It is also going to be control the secretion of HCl in stomach, and it is also responsible for control the pH of pancreas. So in this fashion we are having various endocrine and exocrine secretions, but here our point of interest is exocrine secretions, because exocrine secretions are various enzymes which are poured, entered into our small intestine, that is duodenum. Now functions of pancreas. Pancreas juice secreted by the acinar cells. This pancreatic juice, it is almost 1200 to 1500 ml, means almost 1.5 liter of the pancreatic juice secreted daily into the duodenum. And what it contains? It is nothing but the buffer. It contains the some salts, it contains sodium bicarbonates, and it contains some pancreatic enzymes. And what is the role of this sodium bicarbonate? And it is basic in nature. This sodium bicarbonate is responsible for maintenance of pH. It works as a buffer. As we know from the stomach, the chyme contains acidic pH. It is highly acidic in nature. So to counterbalance that acidic nature, to increase the pH, because here in intestine we require basic pH, alkaline pH. So for that, to counterbalance that pH, we have to secrete the basic enzymes, basic juice. That's why it contains high level of sodium bicarbonate. This bicarbonate as gives the alkalinity to that chyme and it converts its pH. Whereas these enzymes, these bicarbonates also decreases the secretion of pepsin, which has been already secreted from the stomach into the chyme. So it controls the secretion of pepsin, due to which again it will decrease the, it will control the acidic pH and it will get converted into the alkaline. Now the various secretions are there into our pancreas, and that secretions are responsible for the proper digestion of the food. Now there are various enzymes which includes pancreatic amylase. There are various types of enzymes for various types of foods. As we are having carbohydrates, so it is having pancreatic amylase. It is the enzyme which is responsible for to do the digestion of starch, for digestion of carbohydrates. Now it also contains the proteolytic enzyme. Proteolytic enzymes means with their breakdown, they are doing the breakdown of the or lysis of these proteins. They are proteolytic enzymes. Actually, this pancreas secretes near about 8 type of enzymes. So that's why this pancreas is having great role in the digestion of food in the duodenum. That's why we are discussing this point today here. So you should count how many enzymes are there and try to recall all the name of enzymes. It can also ask in the examination. So as when you are completed, it is having the enzyme for carbohydrate. It is called pancreatic amylase, which do the digestion of starch. Now second is proteolytic enzymes. This proteolytic enzymes contains 4 types of enzymes. In that, first is trypsin, second is chymotrypsin, third is carboxypeptidase, and fourth is elastase. So these are the 4 proteolytic enzymes which do the breakdown of the amino acid chain, and they are making it into the simpler form. Now next is, and suppose if our food contains more proteins, so more proteolytic enzyme will secrete into our pancreatic juice. Now the next is pancreatic amylase. We have already discussed, which is responsible for digestion of the carbohydrates. It digests oligosaccharides and disaccharides into the monosaccharides. It converts their composition. They are decreasing from oligosaccharides to the monosaccharides. They are decreasing their number of carbohydrates, decreasing their carbon numbers. They are converting from disaccharides or trisaccharides to the monosaccharides, which is simpler in form. Next is pancreatic lipases. As the word indicates, lipase is the enzyme for fats, for the cholesterol, lipids. So these are the enzymes which do the breakdown of lipids, which do the lysis of this cholesterol and fatty acids and glycerol. So they are breaking down the lipids into fatty acids and glycerols. The pancreatic nucleases. So there are also enzymes. There are two types of enzymes which works on the nucleases. So they are working on ribonuclease. So ribonuclease which do the breakdown of ribonucleic acid, and there is another enzyme, it is called deoxyribonuclease, is the enzyme which do the digestion of deoxyribonucleic acid. So these are the various enzymes which are responsible for digestion of various types of foods. Now next is trypsin inhibitor. Trypsin inhibitor is also available into our pancreatic juice, as trypsin is responsible for proteolytic mechanism. But if there is more trypsin available, or suddenly trypsin automatically going to be formed into our pancreas by any reactions, suddenly it occurs, or automatically it get converted and trypsin has been formed. So to control the number of trypsin molecules, the trypsin inhibitor is available into our pancreas, which control their percentage proportion. Now regulation of pancreatic secretions, that one should know. So as the protein digesting enzymes like trypsin, which is available into our pancreatic juice, so how it is developed, how it is produced, it is converted just like the pepsin which has been developed into the stomach. As we know, the pepsinogen has been released into the stomach, but it is in inactive form. Pepsinogen is inactive form. It is going to be converted into the pepsin, which is active form. So this active form is only responsible for breakdown of proteins into the stomach. It is just like that in the pancreas also. All these four forms of proteolytic enzymes are released into the inactive form, but they are become active by some chemical reactions. And who is responsible for that? There is one element which is responsible for that. So it is called as enterokinase. So there is certain enzymes which is available into the small intestine, in the brush border especially. What is brush border? Brush border is nothing but the group of villi and macrovilli. These villi and macrovilli are responsible for conversion of these various enzymes into their active form. Now here you can see this trypsinogen. There is the enzyme enterokinase which has been secreted from the brush border, from the small intestine, villi and macrovilli. It is also called as microbial flora. So it is having the enzyme this enterokinase. This enterokinase is responsible for conversion of this trypsinogen to trypsin, and this chymotrypsinogen into chymotrypsin. This is the active form. This is also active form. Whereas the next is carboxypeptidase. It is in active form, and it is going to be converted into the carboxypeptidase. This is the active form. So like that, various forms has been changed into the intestine. Now whatever the enzymes which are secreting from the pancreas, they all are in inactive form, but then when they release into this lumen of the small intestine, they are get converted into the active form, from inactive to the active form. So this process always occurs into your body for the whole day, and they are maintaining your pH from 7.1 to 8.2. That's why the entering coated tablets, why it is entering coated? Because it should not open its coating into the stomach. It is acid labile. It is it is not required for acid pH, and when that coating will open, it will open into this small intestine, and for that the drug which is in that entering coated tablet, it is sensitive for this basic pH. Basic pH is favorable for that drug, that's why it will open into this intestine, small intestine. So here this is the area which provides your alkaline environment, alkaline nature. For that some drugs will be released, will show their actions properly. So here also you can see, so during the cephalic and gastric phases, stimulation by vagal nerve fibers causes release of pancreatic juice. So as the vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve, is responsible for secretion of this gastric juice. The acidic chyme entering duodenum causes the enteroendocrine cells of the duodenum wall to release secretin. So this is also one of the enzyme, secretin, cholecystokinin. These are the enzymes which are secreting from the small intestine, and they are also responsible for, it is the cholecystokinin and secretin enter into the bloodstream, and what they are doing, upon reaching the pancreas, cholecystokinin induces the secretion of enzyme rich pancreatic juice. Secreting causes copious secretion of bicarbonate rich pancreatic juice. So whatever secretin is there, which is inside your small intestine, it is responsible for rich secretion of bicarbonate into the pancreatic juice. As you know, this pancreatic juice required more basicity, so these bicarbonate ions are giving them that basic nature, basic environments. So in this fashion, today we have completed this pancreatic part in today's lecture. I hope you understood the whole lecture. If you have any queries, you can discuss with me afterwards. Thank you. Bye.